Geiger's mouth. He's like, "You did it," and it was either you did it or you're an idiot. Those only two things at that speed.
Yeah. I meant the children's diapers, not yours.
Yeah. I just step into mine now. It's really nice. You're already 3 pounds heavier. I can smell it.
You know what?
Which I need. Because I'm 30 pounds heavier. It's not really fair.
Daylight
Stop
and
talking,
dark.
dude. I'm hungry.
Yeah. Daylight and dark.
Tony Schumacher.
Clay Millican. I'm going to read it word for word.
Verbatim.
Clay Millican and Tony Schumacher. Today, you're not measuring success by stats. You're measuring it by perspective. You're smashing patties, building smash burger tacos, and telling the truth about seasons that changed you. Fatherhood and the years in the seat, each one reshapes what matters and how you carry it. This isn't about chasing validation. It's about resilience, gratitude, and the legacy that remains when the engine goes quiet. Two veterans, one skilled, and the wisdom you only earned the hard way.
It's good, man.
Aprons.
We put on the aprons and then we cook. The smash burgers.
I hope you got this.
I don't got this.
You don't got this?
No, I thought we were making tacos, but that's okay.
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. I purposely got on this side because I can throw stuff in that bowl and stir it up and mix it.
Good. I can smash things.
You can smash the patties.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good. So before we do, we're going to go over some questions, and we're going to talk about we're going to talk about raising kids, racing cars.
Yep.
The successes each one gives. I'm going to start off with how did becoming a father change your relationship with racing while we're doing this?
While we're doing this. So for me, I've been racing since before I had a driver's license. NHRA Glendora don't pay attention to that. They didn't have juniors when I was a kid.
That never happened.
Yeah.
In theory.
The way it changed me was the juggling required to go racing changed when kids come along. That's kind of what happened for me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
You?
Yeah, I think, growing up, it goes back to my father raced. So I got a little perspective that he retired, when I was a kid, but he was doing it, and I got to watch what it was like from the flip side of that. So when my kids
were old enough to remember some of
I remember being a kid, man. I remember Garlitz, Muldowney. I remember Tommy Ivo and guys stopping by our house in
That's
Park
pretty
Ridge.
cool.
Because we had a race car shop, and I think the coolest part is we have this little race car shop. I'm going to make 4 of these. I don't think we're going to fit 6.
All right.
We have this race car shop in Park Ridge, Illinois, with my grandpa had built for my dad when he raced. And to walk outside at 10 years old and Tommy Ivo's car would be sitting out there, the jet car or any one of the cars he had, and it was just a glass trailer. It was a 1/4-mile driveway. So the perspective for me as a young kid was, this is an awesome thing. I want to do this. And my kids got the same opportunity because they literally got to grow up with me on the road, driving a bus, race to race, long before they went to school, and just seeing what it was like for a dad to win races, crash cars, be upside down, be on fire, being broken up, show back up and do it again. So all while doing it with the Army, and those guys getting to, getting to see these kids getting to see people jump out of airplanes and train rigorously,
So for me, my kids was a little different situation. My kids learned what it was like to have to take a shower at the truck stop because that's all we could afford, and slept in the trailer.
Yeah, absolutely.
For them, it was like, hey, camping out. That's the way they looked at it. We're camping out.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's
it's
how
a
we
great
did.
way to. It's a great way to grow up.
So you got this all good here.
You mix that baby up.
All right, Tony. So I was just saying something about, my kids grew up taking showers in truck stops, and me and you certainly grew up a little different. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way. We did, so all the success, all the stuff, what keeps you grounded?
That's a great question. I'm not sure I've been grounded my whole life. I think,
Well, we know you ain't been right your whole life.
Definitely
so,
not. That's a fact. I think, I watch some of the kids now that are racing and I listen to what they say and I think, wow, that was cocky as could be. And I think to myself, I was exactly like that. It wasn't until I was an older person that I started to go, this is a gift. Like everything we do, truly, I feel blessed to drive a race car. I feel blessed that I get to do it with a team capable of winning races on any given day. Got a kick-ass teammate, kick-butt teammate. And I get to enjoy what I do, And when I was young, I was as cocky as could be. So I don't know that I was grounded. I know I watched you my whole life because we were doing it together, and you were always grounded. It was something I respected. I grew up, had a nice house on a lake. I was probably a little more spoiled than most people. But
you know what's cool? That you'll say that.
Yeah, I own that. I own that.
Yeah.
And, with Facebook and everything you post all the time, you got to read these comments, right? And I read it and I defend it, and I always step back and go, hang on for a second. People always think my dad bought me a ride, and that's just not how it didn't happen. My dad didn't want me to race. He was done racing.
Yeah.
And I started driving for the Peak Brothers. And I had worked my way up from Super Comp. And so when I get cocky and I'm feeling that, I remember it wasn't as easy as I made it, as it looked. It literally was a difficult path. And I enjoyed the ride, but I shared, so the grounded part, I got there. And I think if you get in a race car that goes 330, 340 miles an hour, you're going to have an element of cockiness. Do this in my kitchen with my butter and my placement.
So where were we at? I lost.
Talk about being grounded.
Oh, yes. Yes.
It's just I look at all of us drivers, man. What we do, man, it's insane, And it's the coolest thing in the world. I think we have the coolest jobs in the world.
Oh, I love my job.
I don't think we walk around, all due respect, I appreciate a good accountant, but we're not accountants. We're driving a missile, goes 330 miles an hour. And with that comes the element of cockiness. Even if we're humble about it, it's a fine line between walking that path, Getting in a race car that's going to, show all kinds of signs of risk and doing it anyways. And I think that's what's cool. So I appreciate, if you wanted me to answer the question in the right way, I'd say, I had good friends and they kept me humble. But the truth is, we all rode that line a little bit. So it's a good question and an honest answer. Respect the honesty there.
Yep.
What's a moment your kids are especially proud of for you?
Well, for me,
and we know that answer, buddy.
I mean, I might surprise you. So I'm gonna pull one out from. We won a race in Michigan. Both kids were there riding skateboards, and it came a freaking monsoon. And they were in the winner's circle, the photos. And then after all that was done, they are rolling around on the skateboards. Our pit area literally flooded. And we towed them around in the coolers, and for them, that was probably like the funnest win, because it wasn't like, we got to get our picture made. We got to stand still, put the proper hat on, change the hat. They had an absolute blast.
Yeah, they got to be kids.
That's a good memory.
They got to be kids.
They got to be kids because the whole winter circle thing was really out the window because it was monsooning while it was happening. We actually had the race car under the tower, the walk-through, the drive-through tower where you pull out on the racetrack. So that one is always a super fond memory for me, having both my boys there at the same time. Because it was tough. Donna had a job, and I raced. So coordinating her job and them being there was always tough. And so that's one that 100% sticks out for me. One of my other favorite memories was my uncle brought both of my boys and my nephew. They didn't care a thing about going to the race at Norwalk. Their whole goal was Cedar Point. So Dalton comes back to the racetrack and he is as hot as that smash burger taco right there.
It's looking good though.
Because he found himself to be just a little vertically challenged and did not get to ride the rides.
Ooh.
And had to
No
spend,
heel, no.
Yeah, he couldn't even cheat it.
Couldn't even
He
cheat it.
couldn't even cheat it. So he had to spend the day at Cedar Point watching.
Painful.
Yeah, those are the kind of memories that I absolutely just love thinking about. What about you? What about when the kids were there? We both won a lot, have a lot of memories, but those are two that are the first ones that pop in my brain.
I think, man, when we set the world record, the run, my son Anthony was there, and that was such a crazy moment just because it was absolute chaos. I went around the corner and I knew I had won the race.
But you didn't know if you had the record
I didn't know
set.
because we were still running quarter mile and you couldn't see the scoreboards. And to be honest, even if I could see them, I wouldn't have been able to calculate that. It was,
Right.
you're doing two things. You're trying to stop a car going 330 plus miles an hour, and you're trying to calculate in your head.
Yeah. Did I
do
back
this?
it up? Yeah.
And I'm coming around the corner, and Rob Geiger is going. Everyone's going nuts, and I can see. My son Anthony, he was just little, but I can see everyone just going nuts. And Geiger's mouth, he's like, "You did it," and it was either you did it or you're an idiot. Those only two things at that
Or both.
speed. It could have been both. You idiot, you did it. And it was, for me, it was insane. And then winning the Charlotte rainout in Dallas, backing it up with the Dallas race,
Yep.
back to back. They were both there for. That was just, those were great days. Those were great days for me. If you rewind the question and ask me what was the best days for them, I'd have to really think about that. They were on the road a long time, but they had a hell of a childhood.
Yep.
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 And
Same.
they talk about it now.
Yep, same.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Where am I putting these things now?
Right here. Boom. That looks good. I like it. Now the question is, are we brave enough to eat these?
Yeah, you know it. 330 miles an hour on fire backwards. Yeah, man.
right.
I'm going to reach over like a fool.
Yep, perfect.
Not a big deal. I'm on fire all the time. It's cool. This is for all the Mission Foods fans right here, buddy. You should be coming through this TV, catching a peek at this. This is pretty good.
Hey, I was warned when I walked in the door that they may not partake in mine and your cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, so be it.
it looks good
More
to me,
for
though.
us, man.
It looks good.
I'm going to let you touch your own pickles since I was touching meat without washing my hands. So go ahead. Too late now. We're all going to die at some point. It's okay.
Exactly.
Now,
All right, Tony.
I'm going to eat it.
Well, no. I got a question.
Okay.
Kids showing any interest in racing?
Yes and no. My son Mike is like, I want to go out and race. What he hasn't done is what I did, or what you
Go
did.
out and find the money.
Go out and find the money and stand in the garage all night long. He rides bikes with me. He drives cars with me. He doesn't wash them. He doesn't clean them. He doesn't stand in the garage and smell the oil that he doesn't give up everything else. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
And that is the truth. The reason we don't know how to cook is because we spent all day in the garage working on cars, and he just did. I love the kid, and I love him to death, but I'm not sure that you're going to see a Michael Schumacher sitting in a race car in the future.
Which is a natural name. It's like,
Yeah.
that's
It wasn't
a race car
that hard to
driver
come up
name,
with a
you
name
know?
for him.
Yeah,
What should we call him? I don't know. Joe? I don't know. How's Michael? Sounds reasonable.
Yeah. For those of y'all that don't know, Michael Schumacher, one of the greatest drivers of all time.
Ever.
Just saying. Yeah.
Now, his kid races, but he's not the same Michael Schumacher. That's the problem. Is, you got to dig.
Yeah.
You got to want it so bad that the rest of the stuff disappears.
Yeah.
And that is a fact with any job. You want to be great at something, you give up everything else.
Oh, 100%. My two, one has trouble changing a flat tire.
Yeah.
My little one, all in. Like from the get-go. Motocross racing, become a national champion. That turned into monster trucks. And, that's, it's funny how you can have two kids in the same house, same upbringing, daylight
Stop
and
talking,
dark.
dude. I'm hungry.
Yeah, daylight and dark.
Outstanding. You are a good
That's
cook.
not bad.
Not bad.
I'm gonna pat myself on the back for mixing this stuff up here.
You did a good job. Not gonna lie.
Not
That's
bad.
delicious, man. Folks at home,
You definitely need a shop towel though. It's messy.
this is literally a savior. You're already 3 pounds heavier. I can smell it,
You know what?
which I need. Because I'm 30 pounds heavier. It's not really fair.
Which one? Point it out.
Was there a moment in racing that helped you heal?
Whew. Yes. I mean, that's certainly, I think that is probably directed at me. You know, a lot of y'all, I know you certainly know, a lot of you folks may not know. I lost a son 2015, Dalton. I was talking about that. And for me, you know, that was hands down the worst thing that ever could happen to a parent, period. I don't have any enemies, but I wouldn't wish that on any enemy at all. So for me, Father's Day always sucked. Like, I get the text message. I have another son, you know, and I appreciated his, but you get all the Happy Father's Day. I didn't want to see that. You know what I mean? Like,
Understood.
I just want to go get in the race car,
Skip
go
that day.
race, you know. So the healing moment, I don't even want to go down the whole path of that. I'm sure there will be a clip probably.
I was there,
installed.
baby. I was
You
waiting.
know what? 100%.
We weren't teammates.
Nope.
But I stood at the finish line and waited.
did. You did.
And I had gotten beat first round.
Yep. And you stayed.
And I said, something tells me this is your day.
Yep. And you actually, yeah, you told me that. So anyway, without going down that whole path, like I say, there'll probably be a clip inserted here. I had won so many races, a lot. Not quite as many as you, but I'm right there,
Real
not
close.
that far behind you on the other sanctioning body. And I had just so many runner-ups, so many years. Lost you in the final, I can't tell you how many times, but
I appreciated that.
yeah, I know. But that day, which was Father's Day in Bristol, you know, when all the struggles to win, all the things my family had been through, not really liking Father's Day, when the win light come on in the final round, that's a healing moment that doesn't get any better.
It was an insane one.
You know, it really was. And, you know, the emotions of all of that was incredible. And I said it then, and I'll say it now. Hands down, the biggest win I've ever had. And I've won the U.S. Nationals. You know, I get that every now and then when I say that. They're like, oh, you won the U.S. Nationals. Not as many times as you, but I've won the U.S. Nationals.
You've won it.
And that doesn't compare to what that was, because that was a 100% healing moment.
It was beautiful.
It really was.
It was so much buildup. You beat my teammate at the time,
Yep.
and I stood at the finish line, and boy, it was a close race. I don't know what the margin of victory was,
don't
but it was
remember
so
either.
close. And, you know, I remember a story about that in the chest protector, and
Yep.
we had talked about it in the morning, and it was like, you know, you can just look up and go, this is, God made this day
100%.
for you. So that was your day.
It was my day, you know, and it's crazy. So I see the wind light come on, and it's funny how many just absolute vivid memories I have. You know, it was, I just won that. I just got a present from Dalton.
Yeah.
I couldn't get the race car off the track. And Jack Beckman had just lost, also your teammate at the time, by a few thousandths of a second. He lost to Ron Capps. And he runs out there and he's screaming at me, you did it and you have no idea how big this was, or this is.
Yeah.
You have no idea. And I'm like, I don't even really know. And he literally had to help me steer the car off the racetrack. You
awesome.
know, healing moment, there's your answer.
That's a good one. Shake?
I got
Tony.
one more question that we got to get in here. We got to get this one in here for fun. So I got to know, Tony, 8-time champ, bazillion race wins. How many times do you have to change a diaper during the weekend, race weekend?
Tons. And I don't.
But I got to ask, wait. We're both getting on up there.
Yeah.
I meant the children's diapers, not yours.
Yeah. I just step into mine now. It's really nice. Yeah, you know, I miss that because they are messy, you know.
They can be.
They're generally speaking not done just because you undo their diaper. Usually just get them cold enough to start again. And you do it all the time. I had buses that, man, if those walls could talk about how many times them kids, you know, had diapers changed in them. So I love it. I used to, you walk out the door and they'd throw up on your jacket and you'd leave it.
Yep.
I didn't want to wash it off because I might be gone for a little while,
Right.
and you could at least take them with you. So, yeah, for all the parents and fathers out there, happy Father's Day from NHRA and Mission Foods and me and Clay Millican.
Absolutely. Happy Father's Day. Make that call. Hug their neck. It's important.